Around 2008 and 2009, many people around the internet began spreading the word about a strange animated Sesame Street short that many referred to as Crackmaster. Many individuals across web pages and forums were asking if anyone remembered the, as one person called it, cartoon with the crack in the wall that came to life, and if anyone knew where it was or if they had it. Most thought that it didn't exist or that it was a dream that they had as a kid, but soon, many people were replying to posts and comments saying that they remembered the cartoon too. Now, me, being a person who's went through this exact scenario before with the Dr. Seuss cartoon Halloween is Grinch Night, I thought, well, shouldn't they be able to look up a certain scene they remember and easily find it? But no, they were unable to do so. The cartoon was lost. There was legitimately no evidence to prove that it ever existed. But of course, this isn't a movie. If all of these people remember this cartoon, then it had to have existed. Many speculated on why the short was nowhere on the internet at all. Some speculated that the special tape had been destroyed, while others thought that the cartoon had been banned due to kids being frightened by it. But whatever the case, it was missing. It was just some lost Sesame Street short. It was even labeled an urban legend because many had doubts it even existed. Certain scenarios from the short were discussed among people. Some said a girl rode on a camel and met other creatures made from cracks in the wall, and others said that there was a scary monster that roared loudly at the main characters. And in the middle of all this speculation was a woman by the name of Jennifer Bourne. She too had seen the short when it was still airing, and so she decided to post a summary of what she remembered from it on her Tale of the Route blog on September 20th, 2008, titled The Crack Monster. The blog post reads as follows. A Sesame Street cartoon terrified me when I was small. A girl stares around her room. The cracks on the wall started looking like a camel, a voiceover sings. The cracks morph into Crack Camel. He gives her a ride. She meets Crack Monkey, Crack Chicken, then Crack Monster. He threatens them. The heroes fight back. He crumbles, leaving his outline in beams of wood. Crack Monster scared me for years. I was sure he'd appear on my bedroom wall at night. Even regular cracks made me nervous. Recently, I googled the cartoon that had scared me so long ago. I couldn't find it. I did find others who were freaked out by the cartoon when they were young. They too were seeking the old cartoon. Nobody's found it. I wonder where it went. I wonder if I'll ever see it again. Come to think of it, I wonder how the kid explained the broken plaster to the parents. The blog post got a lot of comments by people saying how they too remembered it, and one comment was written by a man named John Armand. John is a voiceover actor who had also seen the short as a child, and I've been on a hunt for it. John's comment reads as follows. Where's the Crack Monster, Crackmaster, King of Cracks, behind the door? Segment. Someone, somewhere, has got to have this. I think I need to see it again to have some sort of closure. I've thought about this clip every day for the past 30 years. I know, get a life. I'm 37. This clip would have aired between 1976 to 1978, and I was terrified of it, and mesmerized by it all at once. I've heard urban myths surrounding this clip. It had to be removed and destroyed because it was causing mental distress, etc. I don't believe that, but I do believe that there is a reason why it seems to be the one Sesame Street clip that cannot be found, and why posts and links on various sites are removed once posted. Is this part of some CTW cover-up? Here's the clip. If you were 35 to 40 years old, you should remember it. Although I watched Sesame Street every day and probably only saw it 5 times, tops. It begins with a little girl with frizzy hair. I want to say she's a black girl. She's sitting on her bed in a horrible old house. The cartoon is in black and white. Again, I think. As she starts to look closely at the cracks in her walls, she makes out shapes, and one of these, a camel, comes to life and is very nice. She climbs aboard, and this camel takes her for a ride, meeting different crack camels. There is a monkey, who is very happy to see her, and says, good day, I'm glad you came my way. By the way, I personally don't remember this part, but several other people mention it, so it must be part of it. She also sees a crack-formed bird, and finally the music changes as they meet the twisted figure. Some remember it calling itself Crackmaster or King of Cracks. I simply remember it being the Crack Monster. It yells and crumbles, leaving bricks behind. Eventually, the girl returns to her bed, realizing that it was all just her imagination. She then sings, Camel, thank you for the ride. I'll come and see you again, sometime. There has got to be a reason that this is stuck so vividly in my brain for 30 plus years. I need to see it again and get it out. I need to stop this online crusade and do something more important, but until someone finds it for me, the search continues. Someone please put me out of my misery. Feel free to email me directly. John. Jennifer replied to the comment, and soon John and Jennifer started having conversations directly about the Crackmaster. Both were determined to find it. They came up with many ideas, such as suing Sesame Street to receive a copy, and also coming up with the thought that the Children's Television Workshop, or CTW, was trying to cover up the existence of the cartoon. And later on, John does find evidence to prove that. John had always thought of this cartoon and was super dedicated to getting his hands on it. He thought about contacting the artists, musical directors, and animators behind the short, but they were unknown. So John decided to head to the source, a place he knew for certain he'd find something in: the CTW archives. They kept storyboards and outlines of Sesame Street episodes, so there was a good chance that the short was in one of the archive storyboards. And it was. Episode number 979, which aired on February 10th, 1977, featured the Crack Monster short in the beginning of the episode. The storyboard describes the short as: a girl lying in bed imagines she sees a crack in her wall. Divergent thinking. Time, 1 minute 29. This was a very lucky find on John's part, mostly because of how little the short was broadcast on Sesame Street. To give some context, some shorts on Sesame Street have appeared on the show over 1,000 times over the show's existence. The Crackmaster short only aired 11 times. Ever. And it only had 4.5 years to do so. The first airing of the cartoon was on December 31st, 1975, and its final airing took place on May 2nd, 1980, so it wasn't on much and it didn't have time to be on either. Since there were 11 airings of the short, then there were also only 11 storyboards that included the short, so for John the final one was pretty rare. Not only that, but it also proved that the short did indeed exist, which threw out the urban legend rumors. So, now that John had proven that the short existed, he now had to find it, which would prove to be difficult. Not much happened with the short for a brief time, until John got a call. We have the copy. Hello all you pillow people. Welcome to the ending of episode 6 of Pillowcast, and this episode was a bit different. Usually I do, reading fan fiction, talking about random stuff, but I've decided to start something brand new, a little mini-series inside of this podcast, would you call it, called The Missing Crack Cartoon. And what this is going to be is that I'm going to be talking about a missing piece of media, as you guys just heard, and this is part 1 out of multiple parts that I'm going to be making. Hopefully you found that interesting. Hopefully you found it intriguing. I wrote the script, I wrote everything, and I've been researching this for a while now, and I just thought it would be really interesting, write a story about it, make a podcast, and, just overall let more people know about this. If you guys listen to podcasts at all and have been listening to the Studio 360 podcast, they did a podcast about it, and they definitely do a great job on talking about it too, and that kind of inspired me to make a little podcast series about it, because I love that episode. And so I decided to, start this first part, and more parts of this are definitely going to be coming out soon. You can expect regular Pillowcast episodes coming between this. There will definitely be them. But sometimes I just think, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've been wanting to, just kind of document it, talk about it. And now I get the chance to do that. So, thanks for listening, and be sure to look on the run. That sounds like trash. Make sure to be on the lookout for the next part of the Lost Crack Cartoon. Peace.